So in this week's Parsha, Behar, which means on the mountain, we have like a strange twist on the single most common verse in the entire Torah. Now that is, and God said to Moses saying. So that verse is repeated over and over again. But in the beginning of the Parsha here, it says, and God said to Moses on Mount Sinai saying, Behar Sinai, on the mountain. And our sages wonder why in this one time was that verse changed, and it had mentioned where they were. Really, God was speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai lots of times, but here it mentions it. And our sages say something very important to recognize precisely before Shavuos. And we always read this Parsha before Shavuos, and Shavuos is the holiday when we celebrate that the Torah was given to us on Mount Sinai. And so just like this particular discussion took place on Mount Sinai, our sages say this is like the paradigm to tell us that all the discussions took place on Mount Sinai, which means that really all of the Torah came to us from Mount Sinai. Between Passover and Shavuos, we study Pirkei Avos, which starts off by telling us that all of Jewish wisdom comes from Mount Sinai, whether it's the words of the Torah and the Parshas themselves, or it's all the accompanying oral Torah, the information that goes along with that to help us to understand it, to live it, to really figure it out, and for it to make sense to us. That also comes from Mount Sinai, all of this. And here, as we get ready for the holiday of Shavuos, it's good to appreciate how much of our lives, of our Jewish lives, really all tie back to this holiday, this event, the Torah that was given us on Mount Sinai. That's all our Jewish wisdom. Everything we know about what it means to be a Jew, what it means to be a mensch, everything worthwhile in life comes from Mount Sinai, comes from the Torah, and we celebrate it on Shavuos. And here we go, we're having that, the Parsha reading, which we always read right before Shavuos. Shavuos is not next week, but the week after. And we're going to celebrate our book, our people, our wisdom, our Torah, all of which comes from Mount Sinai. Have a great Shabbos.